What's up, guys? I'm back with another video of the Webby Family Podcast. Stay tuned, and we're gonna have a pretty good debate for you guys today. So would you guys rather live in the hot weather or the cold weather, and why?
You want to go first?
Sure. I like the hot weather because I just don't like being cold.
Okay. Alright, your take.
Uh,
Hot or cold?
I like the heat more because like you get to do more outside. You know, like you're not so like tense when you're in the cold. Everything like tenses up, more stiff. You know, when you're actually warm, your muscles loosen up, allows you to do more stuff. So.
Okay, I get that. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I feel like cold weather is better just because, like, you mentioned going outside and like, but like I feel like if you go outside in the cold, it's like fresh and wakes you up for the day, and like you can also wear better outfits, and I feel like it's just nice to step into a cold atmosphere. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think like waking up to like a nice sunny day and it's like hot outside. Like you wake up, put on shorts, maybe a tank top. You don't have to put on so many layers of clothing. You know, you just step outside and it's a nice day. You know, so I think that's why it's better.
I also feel like when it's cold outside, you don't want to go outside very much. So then you tend to stay inside. But when it's hot or warm, you want to go do more things like surfing or going on walks or going to a park. But if it's like cold and rainy, you tend to stay inside.
Alright, well, if you think about like all the holidays though, like it's such a cozy and nice vibe to be like by a fire inside, like during like Christmas and stuff. Like, I just feel like it's just a better vibe to be around family and everything. And then you also mentioned waking up with the heat, but which I kind of understand that, but think about going to sleep. Like, most people like going to sleep in the cold, and like they like the feeling of being like kind of cold in their bed. Like, people open their windows and stuff. Like,
That's true.
I feel like that's like kind of valid point. But
I mean, the holiday thing, I don't know. I think like we have Easter, Resurrection Sunday, all that. Not only that, but we have like 4th of July, like being outside with the community, like eating, watching fireworks. I think that's cool doing that in the heat.
You could swim.
Swimming, all that. Don't we have Labor Day? Labor Day weekend. And then your last point on sleeping in the cold. I mean, like that's all because of the blanket though. Like in the heat, you could like take a nap outside if you wanted to. If you're that kind of person.
yeah, but most people need a blanket to fall asleep, and then like it feels nice to be able to have a blanket, and then they need the window open to have a source of cool air. Is what I think. But another good point I was thinking of was bugs. Like in the winter, like there's so many less bugs, but in the summer, like especially around here in Red Bluff, like there's so many spiders we find even in our house that like you guys see them. Like, it's just crazy how many bugs come out in the summer compared to in the winter. And I thought that was a pretty good point.
I mean, yeah, you're right, but there are some bugs that like are in the heat that aren't in the cold, like butterflies. Like those are cool every now and then to see. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not like as, as worth it compared to like being in the cold and like not having to worry about bugs. But like I think it's still a cool thing. I mean, also there's fireflies, depending on where you go. But
yeah. I feel like people though, for the most part, would rather have less insects than more. Or
I agree on that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was just thinking another thing would be like roads.
That's true,
like,
yeah. What do you think about that? Because
what do you mean? What roads?
well, when it's cold, like it rains, snow maybe. Like it's
Like
a lot less
ice-
safer on the
icy,
roads.
yeah,
so
icy roads.
That's another argument.
And then the rain like brings up the oil on the roads, so they say
Mhm.
there's a lot more accidents. And so like in the summer and the hot months, it's safer to drive than in the winter rainier months.
Okay, I could see that actually. I mean, I don't really have an argument with that because it does mess up the road sometimes if it's icy and
Yeah.
rainy.
But like, what do you think about vacations? Because a lot more families and like whoever literally go to like Mexico, like
Hawaii.
to like hotter places to like go on vacation. No one's like, oh, I want to go to Iceland. And maybe sometimes, but that's like rare occasions. And it's just more fun in the heat and more stuff to do. So like, what do you think about that?
I actually kind of understand that point, but like at the same time, there's a lot of people that do go on vacations for like hiking mountains and stuff, and skiing and like snow sports is like a huge thing. Like people love skiing, snowboarding, all that stuff, which
Yeah.
I think there's probably more people that do visit hotter places just because it's a little bit easier to deal with. But the people that love the snow really love the snow.
I guess that's just a agree to disagree.
Yeah, I guess so. And then, what do you guys think about? I feel like sports actually is a lot easier if you're in the cold because I feel like the cold makes you like you breathe better, you're not sweating as much, and like I don't know, I just feel like it's overall better.
I think in the cold, like when you're like panting, like after running for like hella long, like your lungs feel like too cold to the point where it's like almost hot. You know what I mean?
But I
Like
feel
it
like-
hurts,
I feel like-
it burns when
yeah.
you breathe in when it's
I feel
cold.
like that, and also, like it's way harder in the cold to do any type of like sport because your muscles tense up in the cold. It's not as easy to like move around compared to in the heat when your muscles actually loosen up and you're able to literally do whatever your body's physically capable of doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand like the tensing up part kind of, but like I still feel like breathing and like sweating, I just feel like that is better in the cold if you're like working out or like playing a sport. But yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from.
I don't know, like being I mean, we're both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like there's no way you think like throwing in the cold is a lot better than throwing in the heat. You know what I mean? Because like throwing in the heat, like you can grip the ball better. It's not so dry, and like it's just a lot easier.
I think it's probably different per position because quarterbacks, yeah, we have the ball in our hands, so like our fingers, like it hurts to grab the ball, but
That's true.
and to throw it, like flicking it. But like linemen and stuff, they're running all day and pushing against people, and like they would probably rather it be colder because it's easier to breathe and just like feels better on your skin even just when you're tired like that and you're not sweating. So it's just, I think the position matters in that. Well, all right, guys. I feel like that was actually like a pretty good debate, and I understood a lot of your points, like the
Mhm.
roads, for example, like and vacations. Like I feel like you guys did have some good points. So I mean, I respect it, but I still stand on my side.
Yeah, I think that's shared feelings. I stand where I stand still. But I do understand the points that you made about like the bugs, maybe the sports stuff, and I don't know all of that. But that's really all I got. But yes, I still stand where I stand as well. So
Sure.
yeah.